Yes. Hello. Who might you be? Oh, yes. Theodora told me you might be stopping by. I don't normally help strangers. There's, quite a lot of rumours going around the village that paint me in not a very nice light, so I don't particularly like to deal with people that I don't know. But Theodora seems to vouch for you, so... Alright, let's hear it. Why exactly do you need the help of a witch? You're cursed. That's rather delightful. Although, I have to admit, rather unlikely, really. It's much more likely that you've been in contact with something that you shouldn't have touched. Perhaps walked into the lair of a magical creature who responded naturally. Being actually cursed is something that honestly doesn't happen very often. You see, a curse is a very, very dark magic. And with all dark magic, there is a price to pay. Most people, most sane people, weigh the cost against the outcome and decide that it's not really worth it. That perhaps they would like to just let karma take her toll instead. It can be a bit less satisfying, and you never quite know when karma is going to do her thing. But having to pay such a dire cost to curse someone, well, not many actually do it anymore. So what makes you think that you're cursed? I see. An old hag, you say? Is this a form of someone that you know? Can other people see this hag, or is it just you? Just you. Your own personal little nightmare. That's quite delightful, isn't it? Well, no, not for you. It's interesting, that's all. Alright, so who is it that cursed you? A former lover, perhaps? Maybe someone that you cheated in business? Someone jealous of you, maybe? You don't know. Darling, did you not hear what I said? A curse is a very powerful, very dangerous, and very personal thing. You have no idea who possibly could have cursed you. Right, well, why don't you come back here when you're ready to be honest with me? Otherwise I can't help you. Well, I suppose maybe I could, but it would take much longer and honestly seem rather boring. So, if you're not going to tell me what you know, what you might think, then I don't think that I'll be able to remove whatever sort of curse this is. Ah, that's right. There we are. Changed your mind, have you? Alright, then tell me, my dear, how is it that you've came to find yourself cursed? A resurrection spell? What sort of resurrection spell? Don't you know that those are all just a hoax? It's one of the first lessons they teach in magic school. There is no magic that truly brings back the dead. Now, there are spells that you can reanimate a corpse to do your bidding. There are spells that you can reanimate someone and ask them a few questions, things like that. But actually bringing someone back in their full and living form, unfortunately, that's impossible. Didn't you know that? Self-taught. Interesting. To have even gotten this far in a resurrection spell, you must be quite powerful. Although it is unfortunate you don't have a mentor to teach you something as basic as that. see. You couldn't let them go, could you? Grief is a very dangerous burden to bear. It's not just sadness, what people might think. It's often rage, helplessness, emptiness. It's all of that in one. It's all right. Many a young witch or wizard or warlock or enchanter has felt the sting of grief and wondered if there was something that they could do. But, you see, a resurrection spell, at least the one that you did, it doesn't really bring them back. However, it does seem as though perhaps, in your attempt, a shadow has clung to you. Yes, I see it now. It's almost as if your grief has manifested into this, what you're calling a curse. I suppose it is a curse in some ways. Grief, pain, loss. Well, I am sorry for your loss. Let's see if we can't help to rid you of this shadow. It might take a bit of doing, but we'll see how it goes. I'm going to start with some of this. I think the dragon's blood. Just a simple incense stick. But this will help to begin opening up your aura, I suppose. Dragon's blood is used places all over the world as a tool to help cleanse and to rejuvenate an energy that is tired or broken. It can help to ground and hopefully lend some clarity. Just going to move this around in your aura a bit, alright? Just do what we can here. This grief has clung very, very tightly to you. If you don't mind me asking, it's alright if you don't want to tell me, but who is it that you lost? I'm sorry. I wish that I could tell you that magic can do anything. That of course we can bring them back. It's not exactly how it works, unfortunately. Now, there is quite a lot of magic not taught in the magic schools, that some deem dark. While that magic does have quite a higher cost than what might be considered white magic or green magic, it is very, very powerful. But not even that can truly bring back the dead. Of course, there's quite a lot to be said for the art of necromancy and the like, but it does not return a loved one to you in the sense that you would want. At best, it would be something of a half-life, a cursed life. This is certainly causing a lot of activity in your aura. Generally, that means that there is something very dark trying to cling to you. It's alright. I've got some tools that we can use. Being well versed in the dark arts, you also have to be well versed in how to fix things when they go wrong. I'm going to leave this off to the side. The energy will continue to fill our space. But let's move on to something else. This is a very ancient collection of herbs, freshly picked from the forest. They are wonderful at removing any sort of darkness, or at least bringing it to light. I'm going to use this and pass it over you. I'm going to actually physically touch you with this. Is that alright? Okay, I mean it won't hurt, it's just leaves. But they are very, very powerful cleansing magic, okay? Just going to come, it's going to be a little fast, but it will help, I promise. Okay. Just brushing this down your arms and around your face, your ear. If you don't mind me asking, where exactly did you find this resurrection spell? Resurrection spell. Of course. In an old dusty scroll in an old secret library. Well, that is a wonderful place to find very ancient magic, but do be warned. Some things are forgotten for a reason. Some things are forgotten because people are scared. Sometimes they're forgotten because they are wrong, or because they don't work. The next time that you find a dusty old scroll, instead of trying to figure it out yourself, bring it to me, alright? We'll investigate it together. But no, I'm not going to be your mentor. I've got far too many things to worry about. A little pip like you walking about doing whatever type of magic they feel like it without being properly trained. No, I don't. I'm not looking for an apprentice. Not right now, at least. Let's just focus on you right now, okay? We're going to fix your mistakes and then perhaps you can go find a mentor somewhere. You don't want me for a mentor. I would be a terrible mentor. I am cranky and impatient, not very good at explaining things, and I prefer to work alone, alright? I am an enigma, best observed at a distance. I am not meant to be a teacher. I don't think so. Well, yes, I suppose I would always be brutally honest with you. That I'm very good at. Lies do not become me. But I will also never sugarcoat anything. It would be rather harsh. No, I'm not. Stop. We're not considering this. I'm not going to be your mentor. No. Especially not if you're foolish enough to fall for something like a resurrection spell scroll. Did you happen to pay for that scroll? I hope it didn't set you back too far. I suppose you're paying in other ways too now. Right. This is definitely helping to bring out some of that darkness. There we go. It is an intense grief, and so it will be an intense healing. I hope you're prepared for that. Doesn't really matter, I suppose. If you wish to be rid of it, then you will do as I say. Right, let me think. What might we need next? It's definitely looking a little more out in the open now. That's very good. Perhaps some resonance healing. That could be very good, I think. There's quite a lot to be said about the healing values of sound. Sound really is just vibration. It speaks to us in certain ways, and it can also speak to other spirits and things in ways that we cannot speak to them. Have you ever seen one of these before? A singing bowl made of pure brass with magical incantations on the side. And this will create a beautiful resonance that will help to recenter your energy, hopefully make a very hostile environment for the darkness that clings to you. So you don't need to do anything for this part, unless you would like to take some nice deep breaths. I'm just going to see if this won't flush them out a bit. Definitely working to loosen its grip on you once more, I think. Good. Much looser, this darkness that's clinging to you. Wonderful. There we are. Next, I'm going to use these. These are little stones that have been carved into the motif of skulls. Now these are a very beautiful crystal called Calligraphy jasper. It's a very grounding stone that brings with it a sense of stability and a sense of deep healing. Not necessarily healing the outer physical body, but healing within a bit. And of course, the shape of a skull can remind us of our own mortality, but also symbolizes the celebration of life. Yes, life is fleeting, but that gives us all the more reason to celebrate and live every day to the fullest. It's a wonderful sort of juxtaposition of death and also life. So we're going to use these little skulls to get rid of this shadow of grief. It's going to work rather well. Now, I'm just going to take these all over your aura here. going to go rather quickly, so that the shadow has no place to hide. Good, good, good. Right, now as I'm doing this, I'd like you to take some deep breaths, alright? Breathe in. Hold for a moment. And breathe out. Good, good, good. Breathe in. Hold. And out. Good. Once more when you're ready. Breathe in. Hold. And out. Spirit definitely did not like that. Oh, I do have to warn you. This is going to help release the physical embodiment of the resurrection spell that has manifested your grief. It is unfortunately not going to completely remove your grief. Nothing can do that, unfortunately. Grief is something that lives with us. We never really are rid of it, I'm sorry to say. Grief is love that has nowhere else to go. When you lose a loved one, they're always a little piece of you. They're always inside you, just a little bit. Every single person that we love is never truly gone. Not from our hearts and not from our minds. In some ways that is very encouraging, but sometimes that makes our grief very heavy. You never fully get over it, unfortunately, but you get used to it and you learn to get through it. Doesn't mean that you will not still have hard days, but allowing yourself to feel that grief is a very important part of the healing. Let yourself feel whatever it is, whether it's sadness, loneliness, emptiness, anger, bitterness, resentfulness. All of it is valid. All of it hurts. We don't ever want to be consumed by those feelings, but just pushing them aside is not going to help anything either. It is all a normal part of grief. Let yourself feel, and that will allow you to heal. You don't ever want to dwell on those feelings, but it's also good to sit with them for a time. Don't try to push it away. Sit with your grief. Let it speak to you. Just don't succumb. Good, good. I think that shadow has very much started to move on. But let's make sure that we rid any sort of attachments to you. These very ancient pair of scissors, passed down from enchantress to enchantress for generations. They carry with them a very cleansing energy, and they are wonderful for snipping away anything that we don't want clinging to us, like this shadow. Now, this will not, like I said, rid you entirely of the pain, but on the plus side, it will also not rid you of your memories of your loved ones. The memories and the love that you shared is something you will always be able to cherish. That is how they live on. But we can at least make sure that this shadow is not cursing you anymore. Alright, good. Now hold nice and still here. Definitely still some tendrils trying to cling. Grief is a messy business. Rather sticky in some ways. Rather confusing sometimes too. It's a combination of feelings. All very intense. Sometimes they ebb and flow. Sometimes they all get jumbled up together. I understand. I do. But allowing yourself to feel those things and giving yourself grace is the best way to keep going, in my opinion at least. And of course, talking about who you loved when you wish to, the memories, the warmth, the love that you felt for them will never truly go away. Very sticky. You can tell just how much you loved this person. Getting there, I think. Good. Much better. Right. Are you feeling any better? Perhaps a bit lighter? Of course, the sadness might still be there, but at least the clinging burden of it, does that feel a bit lighter, perhaps? Good. I'm very glad to hear that. Well, before we're finished, I'd like to make sure that that particular shadow doesn't come back, right? There's some very cleansing salt. It's a very simple ingredient, although this one of course has been blessed by the moonlight, and I use it in my rituals very regularly. It can help stave off negativity, any of that outer shadow that might threaten to swallow you up again. This will help to keep your grief manageable. This particular salt has also been infused with some oil from different flowers and herbs that will help to keep you calm and pure. There we are. It smells quite nice actually. It's got some chamomile, just some lavender and rose, and a little bit of sage oil as well. Important to make sure that nothing tries to seep in again. Now, before you leave, I'll have you take some of this with you as well. You can use it around your home. Put it in the corners of each of your rooms if you would like. Put it near your doorways. You can put a little bit under your bed in a little circle as well to protect your mind from nightmares. The grief seeping in you don't want it to do. First, I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of this on you, alright? There we go. Just help to protect you. Now, it is rather late, and I'm sure that all of this cleansing has left you feeling a bit weakened. I do not wish for you to be walking back to the village through the forest on your own. So I'm going to have you rest here for the night. Don't worry, I've got plenty of places where you can rest, and plenty of blankets to keep you warm, and a raging fire, of course. And I can also surround you with a bit of salt, just to make sure that the healing really works, that we don't have that shadow trying to sneak its way back in. And then in the morning, I'm sure you'll be feeling much better. You can be on your way. We've been over this. I would make a terrible mentor. I'm old and cranky. Much older than I look, and I'm not very patient. We'll talk about it in the morning, shall we? I think your best course of action for now is just to try to get some sleep. Now that the shadow has been cleansed, I think hopefully you'll find it much easier, much less tormented to sleep. Would you like me to help you fall asleep a little bit? Of course. There we are. Just a very, very gentle sleeping spell. Don't you worry. Nothing too intense. Just enough to quiet the mind so that you can rest undisturbed. I won't disturb you here. You'll be safe for now, in my company. Just let your mind drift to a place that feels warm and comforting and safe. Any of your